So today, I was talking to somebody about like living with regrets or having regrets, and sorry, my cat's being annoying. Stop it. Um, we he brought up an incident that happened a year and a half ago. So a year and a half ago, I was living in Binghamton, and I was hospitalized for a suicide attempt, and um, we talked about it, and he asked me if I regretted it. And I do pretty well in my life currently, without living with regrets, and taking them as more of learning opportunities, and not regretting what happened, being like, oh well, that sucked, but I learned from it. So we were talking about my suicide attempt and being hospitalized for it, and I don't regret it. And before anyone starts freaking out about me saying that, let me explain. I don't, and it's really hard, and it's probably going to be hard for people to really accept and understand. So I don't regret it, because in my own mind, I knew it was going to happen at some point in my life, whether it happened a year and a half ago, whether it happened 6 months from that point. Now, it was going to happen. In my mind and in my heart, I knew it was essentially inevitable. And I guess I would say I don't want to say fortunate, but I think I'm glad it happened when I was living somewhere else on my own than if I were here, like in the Hudson Valley region. And I learned from it. I learned how to figure out and kind of attune myself to know it when I'm getting to that kind of point, that kind of low. Know I know more of the warning signs. I know what a little bit better what I need to do. I know a little bit better about who I should reach out to, who I can reach out to, what I can do. So I feel I'm a little better equipped in that sense. So I don't I learned from it. I'm still recovering from it. I'm healing from it. I'm doing what I need to not put myself in that, or anybody in that kind of position again. The only thing that I'm having difficulty with from that situation is I'm still I'm bitter at the people that I did reach out to and didn't answer me. Obviously I know who they are, but I'm still bitter about that, and kind of towards those people, and I don't really know how to deal with that part of it. The only way I can think of is, I guess, in a way, kind of confronting them and be like, listen, I was in this situation a year and a half ago, and you didn't answer. Where the fuck were you? Maybe a little nicer. That's really the only thing I could think of, is to, I guess it's not confrontational. I guess it's more just like it's asking a question. It's like, well, where were you? What happened? I was in need. I needed help. And all these people say they're supposed to be there for me and help me. Well, you weren't. So what happened? So that, like, that part of me is still, like, that part of that situation, I'm still kind of bitter about, and I don't really know how to move past that, except for to accept reality and be like, well, yeah, they weren't there for you, so tread lightly, if I'm ever in a situation like that again. But I'm not going to sit here and say I regret anything. I've learned from it. It was a learning opportunity, and I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know when. It didn't happen in college, although I had a couple moments, and thankfully I did have a couple friends who were there for me. And so when I was in college, it didn't send me in the hospital, but when I left and stuff, it did, which sucked. But it is what it is. It happened. And I'm just recovering from it and all that. So there's not a real whole lot that I can really say about it, except for that it happened. I learned from it. I know my warning signs, my triggers, and things that I can do now to try to get me out of that spot. And I know I just know better for if God forbid there is a next time, and I'm really hoping that there will never be a next time. But that's not a guarantee. I can't guarantee anything. I just am better equipped to handle it. And then dealing with being bitter at those who I reached out to and didn't reach back until, I guess, in a sense, it was too late. So there's that. And recovery is a lifelong process. It's not an overnight thing. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna just sit in recovery for a couple months and then it'll be fine. Like, no, it's a lifelong process, and I will forever be in some type of recovery from anything I've done. So, I mean, I hope I hope people learn, and I hope that people don't live with regrets. And that's one thing I really try to push for myself, is to not live with any regrets, and so far that's been pretty well for me, so I don't really have any regrets currently. So, and I can only wish the same for everybody else.